tonight for Wigan. O'Connor, Newton, Cowie up front, Cassidy, Betts, second row, Farrell, the loose forward again, and captain. And the substitutes: Gilmore, Mestrov, Chester, Malem. Coach Frank Endicott. The Bulls have Spruce at fullback, Vicona, Withers, Naylor and Price, Henry and Robbie Paul, the halfback combination. The forwards: Anderson, Lowes, McDermott, he comes into the front row, Fielden drops to the second row, Peacock alongside him, and Mike Forshaw fills in at loose forward to cover for the sick Brad Mackay, taken ill on the team bus on the way over here. McAvoy, Deacon, Boyle and Smith on the bench, and the departing coach, but exactly when, Matthew Elliott.
3-2.
Russell Smith is the man in charge. Just talking about Andy Farrell playing at loose forward, his last game at the back of the scrum on Good Friday, April the 24th, and Wigan were flounced that day by St Helens. Omens, I wonder. Kick-off from Henry Paul, bouncing along the wet turf into the arms of Chris Radlinski. Big chase from Bradford at the kick-off. Forshaw, last man off the grounded Radlinski. He plays it inside to Terry O'Connor, and O'Connor tries to drive it through 4. 2 tackles gone of this semi-final eliminator. Whoever loses here, it's the end of the season. Whoever wins goes forward to Old Trafford next Saturday. Good defence on show from Bradford early. Looked like Cowie dropped that. This now is Farrell. Farrell attacking Henry Paul. Anderson in there quickly to snuff the danger out. 4 tackles gone. Robinson to scoot away from dummy half. Doesn't go too far though. That's the last. Good defence from Bradford in the first set of 6. It's with Terry Newton, now back to Willie Peters. His left-footed kick will be collected by Leon Price.
Good kick, good chase is it to be. Well done by the youngster. But all the speculation goes out of the window now when you make the first contact. It's so important in big games like this. You try to put the opposition off, be it with fearsome running or hits and big solid tackles. That lifts you. Try to get a big hit in early.
Anderson bounces off the shoulder of Dennis Betts, but there were 2 red and white hoop jerseys there to bring Anderson to ground. Lowes at dummy half. He finds Robbie Paul. Back on the inside it goes to Jamie Peacock. And Peacock is hauled down just about 7 metres inside the Wigan half of the field. Last tackle here for Bradford. They've both got through their first sets of 6 without incident. High kick, it's spinning all over the place. Bradlinski claims it perfectly. Great tackle by Withers.
Just a little bit too long. An easy take by the confident Chris Radlinski, but the chase was solid, and it's quite obvious that both teams realised that the importance of keeping possession, getting through their sets of 6, making sure that kick and chase is on song, but they'll have to do it for the full 80 minutes, and they know it.
The pitch very wet. It has been teeming down with rain here, indeed as it has been for across much of the country today. But the drainage system at the JJB Stadium tested to its absolute limit, and at the moment the pitch standing up A-OK. The kick downfield is by Farrell. It's a good kick too. It went between Price and Spruce. Spruce now will pick up pace. Oh, what a good run. He swerved away from Betts. He couldn't get away from Cassidy though.
Could have been penalised there. Cassidy had a second shot at the fullback, Stuart Spruce.
Michael Withers.
Now the big problem last week, Eddie, was this Wigan defence in the first and second markers. But I'm sure they will have worked overtime on that.
Good defence. Newton, O'Connor, Farrell all over the top of Mike Forshaw. Mike Forshaw, who once upon a time played for the Wigan Warriors. This now is Robbie Paul. What a lovely run from Robbie Paul. He's got support on his inside. Naylor. He's round Radlinski. Can't get away from Renoff.
Just slipped there, but the defence is all come. Oh, he's dropped it by corner. Golden opportunity. He'll take the knock on.
It was a knock on by a Wigan hand, says Russell Smith, I think.
What a super balance run there. Robbie Paul through the dummy. And you could see there that the big centre just lost his footing, Naylor.
He said that Steve Renoff got a hand to it, and he's absolutely right.
Spot on by Russell Smith there. Well, I thought that Vicona had bombed an opportunity. Well, Renoff may have saved the day. He's given away the knock-on, but Getting out of the scrum far too quickly.
Yes, Dennis Betts shot out of the scrum, got the tackle in. It's a penalty though, but it's a differential penalty at the scrum. They cannot take a kick at goal. This is Peacock. These are desperate moments for Wigan here early. And it's with Lowe's. He gets it away to McDermott. Newton came in. Oh, forced a mistake.
Oh, he's given the advantage, but it will be the knock on, the first one from that fella, Brian McDermott. Well, we knew it was going to be the order of the night. It is extremely slippy out there. Matthew Elliott, he knows it too. And I think both coaches are fully aware that the team with the least mistakes will probably come out victors.
Yes, we've seen a couple of mistakes early there, and it's very difficult to hang on to this football, but that's what we're going to try to do now. And Bradford hunting for the mistake. Wigan are just 12 metres. Now they're 15 metres away from their own line. Dennis Betts was driving it in, but good tackling there from Forshaw again. Now then, Robinson. Doesn't look like there's much wrong with that calf there.
Explosive speed there, one for the dummy half.
He's got the penalty.
Well, they were testing the patience of the referee, Russell Smith. There's little doubt in my mind that Forshaw never allowed the winger the chance to get up and play that football.
Well, Robinson was wriggling to try and get onto his feet, and that's why he got the decision from referee Russell Smith. This is Terry O'Connor. Now it's with Willie Peters, and it's with Neil Cowie now. He's away from Anderson. He couldn't get away from Withers or McDermott, and Anderson comes back to add reinforcements in the tackle. Now then, Newton gets it away to Peters. A little jink from Peters. Almost through.
Good tackle there from McDermott. He goes low.
Tony Smith. Mick Cassidy. Big hit. Stuart Fielden and Mike Forshaw. Newton again. Peters. Wide to Betts. Oh, he was almost through. That's the last. And Wigan are within a metre of the Bradford line. It's with Willie Peters again. A little stab to the in-goal area. Oh, could be a try! Could be a try! Referee will go to the video referee here. Willie Peters, I think, is claiming it. Willie Peters is claiming it.
Then let's have a look. Was it a fair grounding or not?
Onside, offside, and grounding.
In the in-goal area or not?
Big decision here for the video referee.
Well, it's a right option. It is so slippy out there. Peters puts boot to ball. Exceptional stuff. Everyone appears to be onside. Or do they? Cassidy perhaps, and looks like there's a player just on the right-hand side of Peters that may be a fraction. Now, Spruce misses it. Complete air shot. And here you can see Peters. Now he's the man that kicked the ball, so he's onside. This will be try time. No doubt about that. A bad mistake by Stuart Spruce. He was there first. Took an air shot. And 4 points will be posted, surely now, to the Wigan Warriors. No doubt in my mind, full control, TRY time.
No doubts in Steve-O's mind as Willie Peters claimed first points here. He has! Willie Peters gets the opening try. Frank Endicott makes a note in the book. His 16th of the year 2000. And Wigan are ahead 4-0.
Super little chip through. Spruce should have done better than that, and he knows it. We mentioned the fact the team that comes up with the least mistakes will probably be the victors. This is an awful one from fullback Spruce. He really should have belted that all the way down to Liverpool. Neat option. At the chance. Wigan ahead.
And Willie Peters, a drop goal in the home draw against the Bulls in June. That a priceless 4 turned into a priceless 6 by the boot of Andy Farrell. Wigan 6, the Bulls 0, and a little early problem for Matthew Elliott after all that early pressure.
He knows they had a chance a couple of seconds before. And Peters, beautiful little chip through. He will not want to see that too often, Stuart Spruce. You see his positional sense is great. I'm afraid the air swipe with the right leg was rubbish.
Well, we said it might come down to mistakes at the end of the day, and Bradford have made the first. Terry O'Connor, ball securely underneath the left shoulder. He gets to his feet, plays it to Jason Robinson, who in turn finds Neil Cowie, and Cowie just gets over the 20-metre line.
Well, I'm sure the Wigan coach Frank Endicott and the Wigan players will be cheered by that, but they will not be taking anything for granted. Remember, last week it was Wigan that took the lead against St Helens, and as soon as they took the lead, it was an amazing transformation. The Saints just ripped them apart.
Willie Peters, this is the way it looks head-to-head since 1973 in all meetings, and Wigan shading it, of course, as they do against so many. And here in Wigan, albeit not necessarily at the JJB Stadium, an overwhelming advantage in Wigan's favour.
Well, it's a great start for them, and they're getting one thing spot on right from the start, and that is a kick and chase. That's the second occasion that they've been able to turn the full-back and the winger who dropped back, and they're turning them around. They're dissecting those two.
Now Henry Paul hands it on to Jamie Peacock, and Wigan are caught offside. Have to be back 10 metres at the play of the ball. They weren't.
Ooh, that was a dodgy kick there from Henry Paul. Just made it in the end.
Just went underneath the despairing lunge of Chris Radlinski. There's Robbie Paul. Here's Henry now, and he then finds Fielden. Stuart Fielden, forced wide by the tackle from Connolly and Peters. It's with McDermott. Good tackling there by Dennis Betts. Boy, has he rolled back the years in Super League 5. Henry Paul, back to Lowe's.
Oh, big hit. Newton didn't come off. That one did. Good work there from Tony Smith.
And Smith again, great tackle round the ankles of Spruce. This is Forshaw. Anderson on the charge inside, trying to barge his way through. The Wigan defence stands firm. Rain teeming down here in Wigan again, as it's with Lowe's. He's side-footed towards the goal. Oh, it's come up for Naylor. It's come up for Scott Naylor. But the referee will go to the video referee again.
Onside,
offside and grounding. Don't think there's anything wrong with the grounding. How about the onside, offside? But Naylor thinks he scored a try.
If he's onside, everything will be okay. Beautiful switch to the short side. The kick is okay. You can see quite clearly that the try scorer Naylor, no problem here. Renouf, despairing dive. This is going to be TRY, that is for sure. He knows it too. The Bradford fans, I'm sure, will raise the roof here. They do.
The try given. Scott Naylor, who began his career at Wigan in 1991, has come up with a vital try for the Bulls.
They allowed far too much space there for the hooker, Jimmy Lowe's, and he took full advantage of it. They held back. They were anticipating perhaps the bomb. It was a short kick from the hooker, and Scott Naylor has put the Bulls well and truly back into this game.
And if Henry Paul can add the extras, the scoreboard will be level. Through 500 points for the Bulls now, Henry Paul. He's kicked the 2 extras. It's level pegging at the JJB Stadium. Buckle those seatbelts. We're in for another thriller.
It was a problem last week, their defence hanging back. Look at the amount of room that they've allowed the hooker Lowe's. Well, he could have sat on an armchair to put that kick in. It beats Renouf. Nowhere to be seen, Chris Radlinski. Well taken by the big centre Naylor.
Thing is, Steve-O, in these conditions, this ball will zip and fizz all over the show. It's going to be so difficult for defenders.
And they will be fully aware of that out there, but that must be a huge relief for the Bradford side. Great defence. Oh, he picked him up. He must have had his arm in between.
Well, he lifted the legs, that's the thing. It was a dangerous tackle, and
yes,
Spruce's neck was underneath him.
There'll be a penalty.
And this is going to go on report.
Well, they'll have to. That was a bad one. Definitely could see that the right arm went underneath. He looks pretty calm about it. But I don't think he'll feel calm until he gets the medical report on the full-back.
It may not have been intentional today. I aren't here to judge that at the moment. Certainly a dangerous tackle. It's going on report. We've got to be careful with lifting. It's going to be lifted. Okay?
So it's on report, and the referee, as he said, he's not here to judge whether it was dangerous or not. It looked dangerous, didn't it? And Stuart Spruce's neck was well and truly first thing down on the ground.
Well, let's hope that the full-back is okay. Always is. Oh, it's very dangerous.
Oh, thank goodness he's all right.
Well, he's receiving treatment. Either way, he'll be shaken up somewhat. Bradford attack. They quite have a swinging arm there from Neil Cowie.
The ball went backwards, so it's play on with Anderson. Great tackle low down by Cassidy. Here now is Henry Paul again. Gets the pass away. Oh, as soon as he received it then, Fielding was clobbered. He was clobbered by Gary Connolly. Forshaw!
Nobody inside.
Good job that Cowie had hold of Forshaw's jersey. Here is Lowe's. Now it's Spruce. On it goes to Peacock. Peacock trying to get away from Renoff. Cowie arrives as reinforcements. There's a Bradford man down flat out as Lowe's attacks.
Superb build-up though by the Bradford Bulls. Looks like Spruce that's out.
Oh, he's in the water at the minute, Spruce. Henry Paul dabs it in. Well claimed by Dallas.
Well, he's still spark out as the fullback Stuart Spruce receiving treatment. The Bulls are down to 12.
They continue. And I think the signal's gone out that Stuart Spruce is not going to be able to continue for the time being.
I think
He's
it's
got
a
blood
problem
coming from his mouth.
He also, I think it could be his sternum. He got a big hit, maybe a clash of heads. Pressure is relieved now.
Well, Spruce will certainly be in the blood bin, there's no doubt about that.
I was ready to blow for offside before that Bradford man dived on the ball.
There's a big hit by Farrell.
Ooh, that looked a late one, didn't it, from Tony Smith? Now then, we may hear something about this.
Time back on.
That was a swinging left arm, little doubt about it.
Didn't look like he caught him though, Steve-O, but the blood on the mouth of Stuart Spruce indicates that there's something's gone on. Anyway, Nathan McAvoy is on. Stuart Spruce in the wars at the moment.
Well, there's no mosquitoes out there, Eddie.
Not at this time of year. It's with Cowie now for Wigan.
That was a great build-up though by the Bradford side.
Michael Withers, by the way, has dropped back to full-back, and so McAvoy will fill in the centre. This, meanwhile, is Radlinski, the Wigan full-back. He's 20 metres away from the Bradford line. Newton gets it away to Robinson. Robinson trying to bamboozle the Bradford defence, but they stand firm, 10 metres away. Betts. Good tackling by Fielding and Lowe's.
Surely they'll put the short kick in yet again.
But it's with Willie Peters. Now it's with Tony Smith. Tony Smith then short to Radlinski. Beautiful ball back on the inside. Tell Jason Robinson, I think, a score.
Well, there looked to be a forward pass in there, but he can't go to the screen for that.
Please, when that last pass went, Jason Robinson attempted to catch. The ball was very near the ground. Did he catch it clean? Did it bobble?
Well, he's just looking for the knock-on against Jason Robinson. You can't, as you say, Steve-O, ask the video referee to adjudicate on forward passes.
Did well, though. That one's all right. It's the build-up, the short pass that I want to see. Oh, he's lost it.
I don't think he has.
Well, I think you'll find that he's lost control of that one. Great work from the full-back.
It's never forward.
That's okay. Now then, does he catch it? And it hits the ground. I think that perhaps will be the knock-on. But it's the one pass before that that looked suspect. It was a delayed pass. Different angle, head on. Definitely loses it here. Now then. Well, I think he's lost that. If it touches the ground, it surely must be classified as a knock-on. But I am not the video referee. I repeat, I am not. He loses it, and that, I feel, will be a knock-on. He has no control, and it seems to just bounce back up into the arms.
Well, it's a huge call, this, Steve-O, for tonight's video referee, David Asquith. He's lost it there, as you say, but I'm not so sure he doesn't get it back.
Well, if you take it on the half volley, is it classified as a knock-on? As soon as it hits the ground, surely that must be classified as being a knock-on.
Well, the clock's held up while this is being watched.
Well, I'll go for no try.
Oh, that's it then. Wigan have got the lead.
So much confidence. Nothing wrong with the eventual touchdown. Things a big cheer. They've checked that out, so they seem happy. Maybe you're right, Eddie. They've given him the benefit of the doubt.
Well, I wonder if they have. We all wait inside the JJB Stadium, and Matthew Elliott says no. Frank Endicott motionless. Robinson, what say you? Video ref. Tries given. It took forever. David Asquith had a long, hard look, but Wigan get the try, and Robinson. This will be his last appearance, by the way, at the JJB Stadium.
Now this is a pass. See how it was delayed. Now that looks slightly forward. At normal speed, it's so difficult for the referee. That's why he's had to go to the screen. But that delayed pass there to Redlinski from Tony Smith, rather suspect. But they cannot go for forward passes. Wigan, as Eddie has just mentioned, take the lead yet again.
Andy Farrell adds the extras to Jason Robinson's 170th Wigan career try. 12-6, the Warriors lead.
Well, the high shot surely will prove conclusive. Here it is. Well, that looked okay. I thought for one moment he delayed it. It certainly deserved the try. Beautiful pass on the inside from Redlinski. Oh, waiting for the classic yet again.
We certainly are. That ball went backwards as Dallas fumbled it, so it's play on. And Jason Robinson, well, he's bringing down the curtain on his Wigan career. I think the announcement that he's off to pastures new is imminent. He's already withdrawn from the England World Cup squad, which is the biggest hint no more. But 170 tries now for Wigan, and he's given them the lead here in this tense semi-final at the JJB Stadium. And Wigan now in possession with their captain Andy Farrell. Good tackle by Peacock.
Well, the big gamble from Frank Endicott to bring back Tony Smith to start this game. We said they were bringing him back just to give them an option in attack, and he certainly created that try.
Willie Peters just flapped at that, had to get out of trouble, and he finds on the bounce Leon Price, and Price grounded after 10 metres, just a little gallop from the winger. Scored a hat-trick last week, remember, against the Leeds Rhinos. Vicona now disappears under 4 Wigan defenders. McAvoy at dummy half, on for the injured Stuart Spruce, doesn't make too much progress. And Stuart Spruce has had stitches in the mouth, and what's more, he has lost a tooth, so he's had a painful night. And when he re-emerges from that dressing room, it will be even more painful to see it's 12-6 to Wigan. Robbie Paul, but will it be 12-6 to Wigan when he comes out and sits on the bench and just gathers his thoughts? Bradford on the attack.
It's going from end to end.
Henry Paul to deep kick to the corner. Robinson collects it in his own in-goal area. In effect, he has diffused the bomb. So it'll be a tap restart to Wigan on his own 20-metre line.
I'm not happy with the kick there. Henry Paul knows it was far too deep. Took it quite comfortably. As Eddie has mentioned, Jason Robinson being a fine ambassador to rugby league. Switching codes, of course. This will be the last time that he'll be playing at his home ground. And he'll want to finish with a win, obviously.
And he's done a little bit towards helping Wigan get that victory. Oh, and Forshaw lifted the legs and fortunately let go of Mick Cassidy.
Well, it's a good job that his prop forward, Paul Anderson, prevented him from hitting the deck.
This is Tony Smith, no way through for him. Henry Paul there, and Jamie Peacock. Now then, Farrell. It's no place for faint hearts.
Well, it shows you the difficulties out there, and when you get the skipper Andy Farrell running from dummy half, something that he very rarely does. He knows that possession is vital.
That was risky business from Price. Michael Withers held on, and he will take the tackle from Cassidy, from Newton and from Dennis Betts.
Well, to be fair, Bradford cannot just go into their shell. I know it's tricky conditions out there, but they are chasing. They've got to try something a little bit more than just carving the ball up with the big forwards.
Peacock gets to his feet, plays it to Jimmy Lowes, and he then finds Henry Paul. Henry Paul just delays. The ball comes out to Robbie, and it goes on to Hudson Smith. He then finds Forshaw. This is Nathan McAvoy. Robbie Paul wanted the ball kicked in field, so too did Scott Naylor, but he is forced out of the field of play. Terrific Wigan defence.
Well, there was a good opportunity out wide, and Nathan McAvoy, when he got the football, he really should have gone to ground quicker. He tried it, but great defence. It kept him up. The upper body strength there of Connolly just kept him up there, but when he got the ball, McAvoy, he really should have tried to step him back inside. It's so slippy out there, you can slide out, but that was solid defence.
That's the change that Matthew Elliott's made. The big man Paul Anderson is withdrawn. Hudson Smith had his first touch of the football, and James Lowes is all over the top of Neil Cowie, and Cowie didn't like that. This is O'Connor. It's with Betts.
Great
now,
tackle.
Connolly. Frank Endicott, the Wigan coach, says his men are in determined mood tonight. Dallas gets to his feet, plays it. Peters. Tony Smith. There's the kick to turn the defence round. Radlinski's herring after this. It's bounced kindly for Vicona. Vicona trying to go round Robinson. Can't do.
Again, superb kick and chase from the Warriors. Their game plan is working, that is for sure.
Scott Naylor. Big man. 3 tackles gone. Referee trying to get Wigan back on the 10-metre line. It's with Fielden now, and Fielden's broken through. He's got Robbie Paul in support. Big hit by Radlinski. Radlinski gets it back, and Robbie is in Disneyland.
What a hit! That could turn it.
Bradford in disarray as Renoff.
Big decision now. This is the hit. Oh, Radlinski put all his weight behind that. Big decision now from Matthew Elliott. Does he bring on Paul Deacon?
This is Robinson. Robbie Paul, of course, has had his problems with his ribs, but I think that might have been a clash of heads.
He's in Disneyland.
Getting his way back, puffing the cheeks out, a little bit of blood on the bottom lip. I think it was a head clash, but he has had his problems with those ribs. Now, will Wigan try and exploit the weakness? That's good defence now from Bradford.
This is the hit, and yeah, it was a clash of heads.
He saw it coming. Cassidy. Robbie Paul and McDermott. Here now is Willie Peters. The high kick. Oh, this is a tester for Price. Collects it cleanly, slides almost to his own line, then takes the tackle. That's been played at a terrific pace, this. You would expect nothing else with the grand final at stake.
Well, they were very hapless last week, weren't they, in the defensive department, the Wigan Warriors, but not tonight. They are really belting this Bradford outfit. Who would have thought it? When you look down this big Bradford pack, okay, they lost the skillful abilities of Brad Mackay just before the kick-off, but they really are getting into them, this Wigan outfit.
Paul Deacon, the young substitute, watching on as Neil Cowie concedes a penalty to Bradford.
Just holding on far too long.
Lowes switches the direction. Robbie Paul wide to Henry, back on the inside to Forshaw. He's beaten one, can't beat the next, but offloads to McDermott. McDermott's away. He gets to Cassidy before he is hauled down by Newton, Cassidy and Betts. 30 metres away from the line. Hudson Smith on the charge, haunted again by Radlinski. Bit dodgy last week, Radlinski, but boys making his presence felt tonight. It's now with Paul, Robbie Paul that is, to Jamie Peacock. And Peacock, 10 metres away from the Wigan posts, is hauled to ground. What's happened here? Knock on. It's the responsibility of...
Dennis Betts was walking away and he's accidentally caught the ball.
Not happy with it.
It's a scrum here, it's Bradford.
It's Bradford's head and feed. I thought it was a knock-on against Bradford.
Dennis Betts didn't do it deliberately, but he's knocked the ball out.
He's got it right, as Russell Smith.
He said it wasn't deliberate.
He was getting out, he wasn't even looking at the ball there. Well, pressure for Matthew Elliott.
And pressure for this Wigan defence with Michael Withers. Back on the inside it goes, and McAvoy
You take your chances in pressure matches like these.
And that was a gilt-edged chance.
Back on the inside, they do it ever so well, don't they? And he never took the football. Remember McAvoy, he wasn't on the starting sheet.
Yes, he missed last week's game against Leeds. He was a non-playing sub in last year's grand final. And he's maybe, let's give him benefit of the doubt, just a little bit ring rusty coming into this match. But that was a gilt-wrapped chance.
Full credit yet again though, Wigan's scrambling defence, they really are working overtime for each other.
This is Farrell, he's broken through, and he's got support. Radlinski inviting the chase. No, it isn't, it's Dallas.
Oh, he went for the man, surely this is a penalty. Well, the referee's ignoring all the claims.
Smith, back it goes. It's now with Connolly, they got there. McDermott's head hits the deck. He's in despair, but Wigan, they are joyous. But the try scorer is still flat out. Connolly has scored the try. And
Well,
Wigan given benefit of the doubt by the referee. He allowed the advantage, I think, over on the far side. And Connolly found a hole in the defence. It's a worrying time for Frank Endicott, but maybe more worrying for Matthew Elliott.
Beautiful break from Farrell, took the option, he knew that Dallas had all the speed, but this really should have been a penalty. But the referee allowed the advantage. I wonder what would have happened if they had not scored on this play. It didn't matter in the end. Connolly's strength gets him over, but it was Farrell's wonderful break that got him into this position. They are ripping the balls apart.
And the try scorer is in some distress. Gary Connolly. This is his 250th Wigan appearance. He's got a try here tonight. He's now leaving the scene. He got a try here against the Bulls in June. And Matthew Elliott has a bit of a rescue effort underway. But Gary Connolly is in all sorts of trouble. Andy Farrell then. He adds the extras. And Wigan have streaked into an 18-6 lead here at the JJB Stadium. Are they on their way to Old Trafford? Are they going to make home advantage tell in this semi-final?
Head-on shot there. Look at the kick here. Superb thinking there from Andy Farrell. Dallas had all the speed. No doubt in my mind that he was certainly taken out by Michael Withers, but the referee, the experience of Russell Smith showing there. They went far too high. Connolly may have picked up an injury, but I think he's picked up a vital try that could very well have taken the old foe to find it out at Old Trafford. Long way to go yet though, but Bradford have to dig deep. Remember, Brad Mackay declared unfit with an injury bug, and now we have the fullback Stuart Screws. They're in the horrors.
And now they've given away a penalty.
Sheer frustration. You can see there Dennis Betts, all the experience, looking at the referee, trying to wriggle free, to convince the Merry whistleblower to put that whistle to his mouth. He certainly did that.
This is Cassidy. Wigan are 30 metres away. Willie Peters. Tony Smith back on the inside to Neil Cowie. Wigan playing with a lot more confidence, a lot more purpose than they did a week last Friday. Peters, back it goes. Oh, hole here! Farrell! Flicks it wide! Dallas! Dallas scores another! Dallas has got another for Wigan. It's all going according to Frank Endicott's script. It's going horribly wrong for Matthew Elliott.
Another break from the Warriors skipper. Andy Farrell playing in his favourite position, Problems for Matthew Elliott and the Bradford Bulls. Brett Dallas did ever so well. He knew that in slippery conditions, he just went underneath the would-be tackler. Back on the inside from Betts. Look at the angle run there from Farrell. Offloads, look at that. That's superb play from Dallas. No chance of the man getting to him. Simple crisscross move. Farrell went through. Good hand and fend. Watch this. I'm going low. Price gets thin air. Yes, yes, yes. The Wigan fans are going absolutely balmy here. And why not? The Warriors are playing champagne football.
Well, they missed him for so long this year. Brett Dallas injured against the Bradford Bulls. And he's come back with a vengeance, Brett Dallas. Andy Farrell 3 from 3, but this, without doubt, the most difficult. And he's just hooked it the wrong side of the posts. Well, the game has swung dramatically Wigan's way. 22 points to 6.
That really was a superb crisscross. Looks simple, but the defence is absolutely confused. He runs the angle, ball out wide, but this was clever play from Dallas. See how he went straight underneath Price. Well, if it hadn't been for the injury midway through this year, surely Dallas would have been the leading try scorer.
No doubt about that. Oh, Wigan have pinched it again.
It's turning into a nightmare.
I think Bradford are desperate for half-time, but they've got 10 and a half minutes yet.
Ooh,
and Wigan could win this.
That was an unsavoury incident there. Hudson Smith appeared to me to stamp on someone. Maybe it was a mistake. It's getting a little bit hot out there.
Yes, Bradford are getting a bit frustrated.
And they can ill afford to lose a player at this point.
Here's Lee Gilmore. Offloads well, finds Cassidy to Peters. Wigan playing with gay abandon. Farrell back on the inside. Trapped this time though by Peacock. You wouldn't believe that the rain has been pouring down here watching this Wigan display in this first half. High kick. Robinson's after it. Withers has dropped it. Oh, Cassidy put it down. He'll play the first knock on.
Wigan knocked on Bradford Edinburgh.
This will be a head and feed for the Bradford Bulls. Opportunity there for Cassidy. Couldn't take it.
He must be desperate to get to them.
Well, Matthew knows that he wanted just a little bit of luck there. It certainly came that way. Good decision yet again from referee Russell Smith.
Forshaw disappears under the tackle from Dennis Betts.
Notice how quick Betts came away from that pack. It's a different defence tonight from the Warriors, that is for sure.
The defence then on show from Renoff as he tackled Naylor. Here is Vicona. Vicona, nowhere to go, trapped.
Well, Wigan's defence is moving up so quickly out wide. They are forcing Bradford down one central passage.
Oh.
And there's a mistake.
Peacock. He drops it on halfway. More pressure on the way here on the Bradford line.
Just a hit. So simple in wet conditions. But Wigan, they've kept possession very good indeed.
Great run again. And Hudson Smith all over the top of Brett Dallas. It's with Peters. Now it's with Tony Smith. Tony Smith running the angles, finds Renoff. And Wigan 12 times in possession. They've completed 11. Bradford 11 in possession. They've only completed 5. That's the big difference between these two sides at the moment. Wigan hanging on to the football. We said, didn't we, before the match, that you had to hang on to the ball on a night like this, and Wigan are doing exactly that. Newton, he lost it then. The ball bounced for Renoff. He's allowed to carry on. It's the last one. Last tackle here for Wigan. Renoff gets to his feet eventually. Robinson, Farrell, wide. High kick here. Claimed by the Wigan winger. Dallas has got another. If he's onside, Dallas has got another. And Dallas could have taken Wigan to Old Trafford. We could be saying that already. He soared above Leon Price.
Well, he was a hero last week, wasn't he? Leon Price, hat-trick against Leeds. He's always been a little bit dodgy under the high bomb. But Dallas appears to be onside. You can see the markings out there on the pitch. The ball's well and truly on its way. So he's okay. He plucks it out of the air. What a return. Dallas. He went at the right time. He does not go for the man. That's what they'll have a little look at. They're seeing if he's perhaps onside. I think he is. 2 meters away from that line. And when you go wide, you'll see that Dallas is only just getting over that line. Oh, he's well onside. This will be TRY time. It'll be pretty quiet with the Bradford fans at that end. He's going for the football. And you chance your arm and you come up with 4 points. They have just been blitzed. Certainly no indication that Dallas deliberately went to put the man out. If you're both jumping for the football, it's the strongest that takes the spoils, and Mr. Dallas has done just that. Well, they've just collapsed at Bradford. They looked oh so well last weekend. It looked as though their confidence had returned. It was Wigan who was on the end of a hiding, and they have turned the tables.
And Matthew Elliott is now staring down the barrels of defeat, and this could be his last hurrah in the British game. Dallas.
Beautiful kick from Farrell. What a game he's having tonight. Leading by example. Can he add the extra 2?
Well, he missed with 1 from the touchline not long ago. But he's kicking brilliantly tonight. Look at this for a scoreline. Bradford in disarray. 28-6. And Brett Dallas, 2 tries. And Matthew Elliott's got a bit of work to do.
Well, we were amazed, both of us, Eddie. Both games last weekend, such high scoring. We thought there'd be just a couple of points either way. Didn't turn out that way. As you say, Matthew Elliott and the Bulls have got some work to do. They've got the ball back. That's good work. Can they do something with it? They need to score just before half-time so they can lift their spirits to go into the dressing room.
They have a penalty now. The referee shouted held, and Wigan didn't hear him. Well, I think they've got to score before half-time to have any hope. Henry Paul gives it to Naylor. Mind goes back, Steve-O, to over the other side when McAvoy, with the line at his mercy, put the ball down. It could have been a different picture.
We keep saying it, but it is the truth. You have to take those opportunities.
Lowe's. Henry Paul. Still Henry Paul. Another chance is gone.
He's lost it again as McAvoy. All that effort in that left-hand corner again. Good offload. He was losing it even before the man came to it. It is not the night for Nathan McAvoy, that is for sure. Had a reprieve because of the illness to Brad Mackay.
So here's Radlinski now for Wigan. 5 minutes to half-time. Renoff.
Safety first, that's what Wigan has done. Nothing fancy, just solid build-up.
And the Bradford missed tackle count in double figures, 13.
That will not please their coach, Matthew Elliott. Not please any coach, really. But what a transformation, what a turnaround from this Warriors outfit.
Let's get some news on Gary Connolly. Bill's on touchline.
Yeah, the only bad news for the Warriors at the moment is the state of Gary Connolly's ankle. It looks like a ligament injury. I think already they're thinking in terms of trying to get him fit for the grand final.
Yes, they could be on the way to the grand final. Renoff, back it goes to Robinson. They're missing tackles. Bradford, and Robinson is a man to exploit that. Back it goes to Willie Peters, then wide to Lee Gilmore. Gilmore is round McAvoy. Price is there, and a good job he was as well.
Dallas was on for the hat-trick.
He was hunting the third, you're right. It's with Betts. Here's O'Connor. And that's the last. They went for the power play, Wigan. And at 28-6, why shouldn't they?
Great option. They know that they camped well and truly down in the Bradford half. That was reefed backwards. This could be a try. It was one-on-one.
And Betts is claiming it.
Is it a knock-on from Betts?
The time up on this, please. Just look at the screen.
It was one-on-one.
Pulled out by a Wigan player that there was a Wigan knock-on. But just run it through, please.
Well, was it a Wigan knock-on? Betts, yep, has hauled it back. So that must be a Wigan knock-on.
There'll be relief in the Bradford camp.
Before that, there was a knock-on, I believe, when James Lawson's...
He's missed it anyway.
I'm not so sure. I think he got it down.
It could be the only little bit of luck that has shone on Bradford this half.
Well, it's no try, that is for sure.
It is. And the knock-on against Dennis Betts.
Well, what a game Wigan are having. And also what a mighty game referee Russell Smith is having too. I don't think he's missed anything up there.
Well, there's nothing between him and Stuart Cummings apparently for the grand final next week. It's a difficult decision coming up for Greg McCallum. But if it's on tonight's performance in the opening 37 minutes, Russell Smith might have clinched his place at Old Trafford as well. David Boyle gets to his feet and plays it to Lowe's, then inside to Henry Paul. Awful pass.
Oh, they got away with it.
They were very lucky too, and they might just turn something into this. Hudson Smith, back it goes to Vicona. He's got a bit of space now. Not for long.
Well, to be fair, Hudson Smith is one of the few players in the Bradford side that's making any ground forward. Now, that's the first time I've seen Jimmy Lowe's run in this match. And look at the clock.
Robbie Paul thought about passing wide, then thought about kicking it, decided in the end to give it to Withers. His little dink over the top is gathered in by Radlinski.
He tried to con the referee, but referee Russell Smith would have none of it. They're going down blind alleyways, and that has been brought about by this solid defence from Wigan. We knew that Frank Endicott would give it to them after that appalling display in defence against Saints last weekend. But in 7 days, the transformation is absolutely superb.
Not over yet, 28-6, but Wigan with a huge step towards Manchester and Old Trafford. Second half still to come, plus a couple of minutes, and this is the last tackle for Wigan, so Bradford will get another set of 6. Farrell, though, drills it along the ground. He'll find touch, just eating up the clock.
Been around far too long as Andy Farrell to not know how to just hammer another nail in the coffin of this Bradford Bulls outfit. What a match he's had.
Well, Saints are waiting for the winners tonight, and at the moment it looks like it'll be Wigan, but who knows, Bradford could stage the biggest revival of the season. It's next Saturday at 6 o'clock on Sky Sports 1. I hope you'll join us for that. And the word from Old Trafford is, it looks as though it could be a sellout on the night, which is great news. And they could be watching Wigan against St Helens. Or will it be Wigan against Bradford? No, it won't. Will it be St Helens against Bradford? I've got them all over the shop. Whoever's there, it will be no complaints from this end. Now then, McDermott to the halfway line.
He knocked on.
He did.
It is so important, and he knows it, Matthew Elliott, that they've come up with far too many errors, far too many missed tackles. It was just a little juggle, but it was sufficient to have lost it. It was well before then. Well spotted by the touch judge.
Well, I think he's seen enough. He knows that his players will be in the dressing room shortly, and I think he'll be delighted that they are there. Here's Cassidy. Dallas puts it down.
Well, he's human.
Doesn't think there's going to be enough time for this scrum to form. Wigan will turn round with a 22-point advantage at half-time. It could be enough to get them there.
The first mistake. And they'll be happy, the Wigan fans.
Well, he won't be, that is for sure. Bradford's coach, Matthew Elliott. But Brett Dallas with 2 tries. Remember, it was against the Bradford Bulls that he broke a jaw in June and he missed 10. 16 tries in Super League though, 18 in all before tonight. Now he's hit the 20 mark. 2 tries in 5 minutes at the end of this first half. A spree of points for Wigan. They're ahead at half-time by 28 points to 6. This game started again. If any team at all can fight back from this situation, Bradford can.
Well, they've done it in the past, but this is one heck of a mountain to climb. And the man who was about to restart this game for the second half, the skipper Andrew Farrell, is fully aware. The comments from his coach Frank Endicott, they will play safety first, as they did in that first half. And when the opportunity came to them, they certainly took their chances.
Yes, safety first football, he said, didn't he, Frank Endicott, during the playoffs? This is no time for fancy Dan stuff. Well, they tried and were beaten soundly last week. This, though, is absolutely watertight from Wigan so far tonight. Scott Naylor gets to his feet, plays it to Boyle. Boyle then tips the ball in field to Fielden. And 30 seconds of this second half gone, and Fielden doesn't look too impressed with the attention that he received then. Gilmore has got the Bradford man all wrapped up. It's flicked back, though. That was a la rugby union style from Henry Paul. And this is brother Robbie, and he turns it back then to Hudson Smith. Hudson Smith tackled by Dennis Betts. James Lowes. Infield it goes to Mike Forshaw. But there's nowhere for Bradford to go with this absolutely stiff Wigan defence. Lowes again, over the top. But that's going to be far too deep, surely. Yes, it's Skipstead.
Not a good night for the coach, of course, and neither for Jimmy Lowes. Really has been off form with the kicking in this match. And made the point, he'd only made 1 run from dummy half in the first 40 minutes, Eddie, and that perhaps indicates to me that he's gone into this game with an injury or some problem, because he certainly is not the Jimmy Lowes that we have seen throughout this season.
Well, I wonder what the word is from the 2 dressing rooms. Bill Arthur?
It was a very animated Matthew Elliott in that Bradford dressing room at half-time, but they've come out knowing that they've got to get back to the plan. They've got to get control of the ball, which they just didn't have in those first 40 minutes, and they desperately need to score early on in the second half to give themselves a cent of a chance. They know that that is crucial to the Bradford Bulls. For Wigan, well, it's looking very rosy for Frank Endicott. He was a pretty happy man in that dressing room by all accounts, but he just wants his side to keep their concentration. The danger in this situation that they'll let their guard slip. He doesn't want that to happen. One-on-one tackles have got to be made. They have got to keep control of the ball. And the only concern for Wigan is the injury to Gary Connolly, which is by the minute sounding more and more serious. Bad ankle ligament damage, and there's now talk of him missing the grand final.
Well, that's sad news indeed for Wigan and for Gary Connolly. And there is the man himself who was injured, badly injured by the sound of things, in scoring the try. Wigan already talking in terms of the grand final.
You can see there yet again the solid defence, but they're forcing Bradford, and Bradford realise with a scoreline like that they've got to force this ball. They've got to try to at least get an early score, lift their spirits.
Henry Paul knows that. Wide it goes to Robbie, and here now is Scott Naylor, but they're doing a great job on this Bradford 3/4 line. Fielden now almost over the halfway line, but Cassidy and Betts, they have tackled themselves to a standstill tonight. Henry Paul with the dink over the top. Oh, gobbled up by Radlinski.
Ooh, desperation there from Henry Paul. Great positioning by the fullback.
Robinson.
Well, Radlinski didn't have the best of games last week, but he's certainly having a wow of one tonight.
Robinson gets to his feet, 10 metres inside the Bradford half. O'Connor taking on Price. McAvoy is there to help out.
Just sensible play from the forwards. They don't need the finesse.
Newton inside to Peters. Back then to Brady Maylam. Maylam stands and releases it, and somehow it was claimed by Dallas. Hat-trick for Dallas. Hat-trick for Brett Dallas. Old Trafford beckoning for Wigan. Dallas was onto that in a flash. And they play the theme music to the TV programme of the same name every time Brett Dallas scores a try. And that's the 3rd time we've heard that song tonight.
Struck oil all right. Struck gold too. Simple basic football. Just offloaded. Another missed tackle, but the hat-trick time. It is becoming somewhat of an embarrassment now. When they can offload like that, you can see that Price had coming from the wing, and the man who's playing opposite has scored a hat-trick. It was Price's turn last week. It says it all, doesn't it? He knows now, and so does that fella, Frank Endicott. Big problems for not for this fella.
And Andy Farrell with the conversion attempt. Oh, he's kicking brilliantly. Another 2 points to the Wigan total. 34 points to 6. There's going to be no way back for Bradford now.
I have to agree with you, Eddie. It really is the night for the Warriors. Basic. Malem, upper body strength. If you can't finish him off, and you can see there that Price had taken the gamble. McAvoy was out wide. Well, pride is something that this Bradford outfit have shown for many years under the leadership of Matthew Elliott. And I just get the point now, will he make the substitution?
Well,
I thought he might have done that at half-time, bring on Paul Deacon. And maybe the gamble of keeping the injured Robbie Paul out there certainly did not pay off. Oh, Newton's away!
He is, he's got support from Peters. Peters hasn't got the legs. Cassidy drops it. Henry Paul can counter for Bradford. He has got it wide to McAvoy.
Should have been another try. And it was only the skills there of Henry Paul that got in between them. Cassidy was herring for those posts.
It's with Naylor now. Bradford, you get the feeling they could be just playing for a bit of pride, and it's not the best way to send Matthew Elliott back home to Australia.
See Johnny Smith having a second bite. Well, obviously the spirits would lift, should I say, if they scored here. He knows it. He's been involved in some dramatic comebacks, Matthew Elliott.
This will be the biggest comeback of all time. Henry Paul. Leon Price. Just nowhere for him to go. Flicks it back. Radlinski says thanks very much. But Henry Paul was there.
To the Bulls.
Feed to the Bulls, yes.
Well, they took the gamble, Leon Price, and that's what they've got to do. But again, look at the scrambling defence there. They're all over. Gilmore wanted to make sure, nearly took up the touch judge as well. They have been ever so keen tonight. It was just a blip on the landscape, they said last week. Their coach Frank Endicott banned all the players from watching the video. And here comes Paul Deacon. What can he do?
Well,
Eddie has mentioned it's too late perhaps, but who knows?
Henry Paul, back it goes. Naylor. It's desperation time for Bradford now. Just keep the ball alive, foreshore. But there's nowhere for them to go. They're being channeled up the middle.
Well, they've nothing to lose.
Fielden.
We really have not seen the likes of Peacock and Fielden out there tonight.
Lowe's, long ball, but off the arm of Henry Paul and backwards.
Again, good refereeing.
Here's Deacon. Now McDermott.
Oh, great defence again.
Tony Mestrov this time. Lowe's had a look at the line, stabs it forward, looking for Naylor. And Radlinski was looking for Fielden rather, and he was content, was Radlinski, just to let the ball bounce off his shins and run dead.
Well, it was a nice little kick in the end, but you can see there that Radlinski had it always covered. They'll receive the football back from the dropout, and perhaps throughout this game, it's the most possession that the Bulls have had.
Yeah, but it's 34 points to 6 to Wigan. With the dropout.
Problem in the first half, of course, was that Bradford, they were denied the football for such long periods. Wigan controlling.
Well, now they've got it. And what can they do in this set of 6? Anderson's back. Lowe's at dummy half. Forshaw angled run. Pass to Boyle. There's always somebody waiting. If they spring one trap, there's somebody else waiting. And here now is Robbie Paul. Back it goes, Naylor. Naylor hangs on. McDermott. Great tackle. He's lost it.
Play on.
Got it back. Dallas.
Oh, it's pretty late. It was Lowe's. Could have been got for a flop there. Dallas doesn't like it.
Well, he'd be sick of the sight of the balls, although he's got 3 tries tonight. As I say, Dallas, it's Jimmy Lowe's who came in a little late, but Dallas picked up that broken jaw against Bradford in June.
Well, Wigan have shared the work, especially amongst the forwards, but it's been some of the defence from the 3-quarter. Oh, they've missed him again.
Betts is away. Eventually they put him down, but he made 20 metres then, Dennis Betts. As I said in the first half, he has rolled back the years this year as Dennis. Here's Renoff. They're looking for more, Wigan. It's with Willie Peters. Mick Cassidy.
Nothing silly. It's been a tradesman-like performance from all this Wigan outfit. They're doing everything right. Neat little kick through as well.
Well claimed by Kona.
So eager tonight. Look at that defence. Swarming all over them.
Here's Henry Paul.
How many times has Rydlinski come there? As soon as Bradford had made half a break, the fullback's been there to just snuff it out. They wanted this tonight.
Well, it was a bit like getting back on a bike after being involved in a real accident last week. That's play on. It's still play on. This is football now. And it's back to 0 on the tackle count.
Surely that was a knock-on from Vicona.
It's 0 in the tackle count, so the Bulls have got another set of 6. Lowe's to Forshaw. Here's Fielden.
They're finding it very difficult even to just get over the advantage line.
He's dropped that.
Knock on.
He's lost it.
It's no good bouncing the ball down. It didn't help him in the first half. They had plenty to say to the official Russell Smith. And if you're going to regain your feet, and he failed to do that, he also could have been pegged for not regaining his feet before plonking the ball down. I know that the youngster wanted to get on with the game.
Dennis Betts comes on. A fabulous effort. Gilmore for Wigan. Lost it. That's a knock-on.
Knock-on. Well, we've mentioned it several times throughout this season that pride has to come into all sides, and this is the moment where it's a good hit there from Henry and Withers. But this is the time where Bradford have to show some faith for their fans who've come over the Pennines. But they have been forced into, most of the time, playing one-out football.
And there is Forshaw with the ball for Bradford. Lowe's is at dummy half. Peacock. Another big hit, though, on Peacock by Lee Gilmore. Lowe's. Deacon. Wide it goes to Boyle. Boyle trying to jink his way inside. The Wigan defence stands firm again. Lowe's will attack the line. Anderson slips out, but Wigan have got it back. They're the first to react all the time.
Far too slow there, Boyle.
Cassidy has had a cracker.
Is that a great year? I mentioned the fact that they wanted it more than Bradford, and that just pointed it out. They just held back. The ball was knocked back by Anderson, and Boyle stood around and waited for it, but not Cassidy. Well, they are throwing down the gauntlet now. St Helens, they await this Wigan outfit at Old Trafford next week.
Tony Smith, wonder if he's played his way into the grand final. Dennis Betts, he will be keener than most. He missed out on 1998 in the grand final success. Looks like he might be there now in the year 2000 to make up for lost time.
Well, I've little doubt that Tony Smith has played himself into the starting lineup. I think the freedom that bringing back Tony Smith at standoff that's allowed the skipper Andrew Farrell to roam more freely instead of just positioning himself in one point on the field. He's been able to control things out there, and Tony Smith has played his part. Took his eyes off the ball.
Play on. Dallas wants 4. Dallas still. Newton, how did he hang on to that? Flicks it back. Picked up by Chester. Well, not the way he would have wanted to bow out. Gilmore. Rumours continue to link Lee Gilmore with a move to Bradford next year, by the way. Chester. Cassidy. That's going to be off a Bradford hand, surely.
Not been assisted by the touch.
Yes, he
is now. Yeah, Forshaw. For sure, it was Forshaw. It has been a nightmare for the Bulls, but they are being totally outplayed in every single department. Wigan came out and they have just battered this Bradford outfit.
It'll be very interesting to see what happens now at Old Trafford. As I say, it's unpredictable, this playoff series this year.
Ooh, that was forward.
Radlinski not debating it. Boyle was there to bring him down.
Well, it's just a matter of how many now, isn't it?
Cassidy.
This huge Wigan crowd getting behind their team, and why not? Wigan have displayed some lovely football, but most of the time, safety first, solid football. Cup-tie football, that's what it is.
Here's Willie Peters. Trying to drift past Deacon with Boyle. He's brought down 10 metres away from the Bradford line. It's with Tony Smith. Glorious ball, glorious hands. Still going, Wigan. Newton's dropped it.
Oh, cannot believe it.
Well, at 34-6, it doesn't matter, I suppose, but that deserved a try.
You try to tell him that. He's already looking for glory and just loses it. Well, the handling there from the Wigan outfit was top quality.
That was glorious. It would have been a great try. As it is, here come Bradford in the shape of Naylor. And now it's with Vicona. Ineffective tonight on the flanks, Vicona.
Well, I think that's about the only pass that is received from his centre partners.
Here's Deacon. Long ball.
Look at this.
Nobody wanted it then. Missed tackles, 26 of them by Bradford. Just 9 handling errors and 9 missed tackles by Wigan. It's been that sort of a night.
And from the best defensive side in Super League. But not tonight.
No, the Bulls leading point scorers in Super League. Wigan, the best defence. And tonight they have played like they have got the best defence, and they have completed their sets of 6 as well. That's an awful statistic for Bradford.
Only 9 throughout this game. It gives you some indication how many times that they've spilled the football early in the tackle count. And that's come about because in wet conditions, if you get a good hit, then the ball can come free. And that was a power play.
Yes, it was. Trapley didn't know it was the last tackle. Jamie Peacock, so it's the turnover. There's a Bradford player flat out. By the way, when all this is finished and done and put to bed, the grand final next week, we turn our attention to the Rugby League World Cup 2000. It starts on Saturday the 28th. England-Australia at Twickenham is live on Sky Sports, a kick-off of 6:30. And any other information you require about the Lincoln Financial Group World Cup, you can pick it up on 01132329111. That's Rugby League headquarters telephone number. They'd be delighted to speak to you during normal office hours. There is a problem here for a Bradford player.
Well done, the official, Russell Smith. Looks like McAvoy, is it?
No, it's Michael Withers.
Withers. Well, let's hope he's okay. The last thing we want is serious injury. Okay, they've been totally outplayed tonight. This is safety first. This is the situation. Well, I think you'll probably find that it was Tony Mestroff coming in pretty heavy. It's just shuddered the neck. And he's
Referee Russell Smith was right to stop play. Now it's time on again. Wigan in possession. Newton to Brady Malem. Down he goes. Newton again in at dummy half. It's with Peters now. Tony Smith and Farrell relishing in the extra space he's got tonight. Farrell gave it back to Smith. Tackle completed on the standoff. Tony Smith off to Hull next year and just feeling a touch of cramp there, I think.
He's added that extra dimension for tonight.
Robinson trying to get away from Fielden and does. Renoff, he keeps it going to Radlinski. Everything they try tonight is coming off for Wigan. Chester now.
They're running at will. The Wigan player down in the back play.
That is Tony Smith. This is Andy Farrell. Farrell hauled down by Peacock and Deacon. Last one for Wigan. Renoff. Willie Peters stabs it through. Oh, that was easy for James Lowes. Oh, he's lost it. Wigan have got it back.
Just the impact. You've got to keep hold of the ball, and they've failed to do that yet again.
Newton. Farrell looking to get one himself from dummy half. Hauled back.
Good defence on this occasion. Anderson leading the way.
Newton again. Willie Peters off his toes.
Bradford are hanging back. They're looking a very tired outfit indeed.
Radlinski plays it to Newton. Here's Tony Smith, recovered from the touch of cramp. Cassidy just dancing, toying with them almost.
Real cat and mouse episode there.
Last one again for Wigan. Robinson at dummy half. Tony Smith slides the angle kick. Henry Paul picks up on his own line. This time he hangs on.
Now they can Bradford just hang on to the ball for a set of 6. Been a big problem for them tonight.
Yes, if they do see out the set of 6, it'll almost be a novelty. Deacon.
Well, one wonders what perhaps may have happened when, remember, McAvoy missed that golden opportunity, knocked on with a try begging.
09 009 10 10 13. Those lines are open now. 2 grand final tickets up for grabs, and also your name will go into the draw to be done after the match tonight by Ian Millwood for the VIP box at Old Trafford next Saturday. Robbie Paul's kick over the top sails out in the fall, and he just smiles. I think he knows this is not going to be Bradford's night.
Shake of the head, wry smile. He'll realise that the power that Wigan have applied this evening, it's something that you must admire. And also full praise not just to the players, but the way that Frank Endicott has turned things around after that drubbing last week.
And Matthew Elliott, he has got 17.5 minutes of his British coaching career left. It ended in such glorious fashion at Odsal last week, but this will be a night that he would prefer to forget, I think. He's done his bit though. 1997 they were champions in the first past the post-season, cup winners this year, grand finalists last year, and Challenge Cup finalists in 1997 also. So Brian Noble, who takes over at the end of tonight, he's got quite an act to follow. Wigan, though, will be concerned only about what's to come now next Saturday at Old Trafford, and yet another meeting with the old enemy from St Helens. And after all the matches we've seen this season between those two... Oh! Vicona slipped. He was brave in the end.
He had to be.
I was going to say, after all the matches we've seen this season between those two old foes, Wigan and Saints, well, it should be a grand final to savour.
See how slippy it was. But he certainly went down with no fear there.
Penalty to Bradford.
Had to go at him, Brady Melham. Quick tap. What are they? Oh, that's an awful pass.
Oh, Wigan have got it back again. Vicona's all round Tony Smith.
Well, I know they've got to be keeping this ball alive, but you've got to try at least to ensure that you're in a good position to offload. Forshaw certainly wasn't on that occasion. To be fair, Bradford's defence, they're still moving up.
Peters to Mestrov. Grounded 30 metres away from the Bradford try line. Newton. Oh, juggling skills from Farrell. Back it goes to Cassidy. Support arrives from Smith. Here is Robinson. There's another four. It's a little bit easy for Frank Endicott. And Jason Robinson's second try of the night. Bradford are well beaten. Jason Robinson. And he's leaving the Wigan crowd with plenty to remember. And maybe there's more to come next Saturday.
It was only a matter of time. Now his thoughts will be back to his homeland in Australia. Juggle from Farrell, Cassidy yet again, Smith. They've all had big games, but what a move from Frank Endicott to bring onto the starting lineup. The standoff, Tony Smith. Offloads to Robinson. He will enjoy that. He will savour it. But he will have eyes on Old Trafford. Remember, it was this man that broke the hearts of the Leeds Rhinos with a spectacular try in the same sort of conditions.
In 1998 as well. Andy Farrell adds two more. 40 points to 6. How these playoffs have turned upside down over the past 3 weeks. And are we in for another shake-up at Old Trafford next week?
Well, it makes you wonder, Eddie, the fact that, remember, a couple of years ago we went back to the new kick-off where the try-scoring side had to kick off. They wanted to change it. Some of the top clubs wanted to change it. I think perhaps a few of the clubs this last fortnight wish they hadn't.
Yeah, Bradford Bulls supporters are streaming for the exits in part. Matthew Elliott, just a little shrug of the shoulders. He doesn't really deserve to go down like this in his last match. He's been a great servant, a great friend of ours, and we're sorry to see him go. And I'm sure he is sorry to leave the scene with a scoreline like this, which could get a little bit worse before the end of proceedings. Let's get news of one of his injured heroes, though, Michael Withers. We saw him going off the field on the stretcher. Bill.
Well, it is marginally better news for Bradford Bulls, I suppose, on a night like this. Michael Withers stretched it off, but the neck injury isn't as bad as it looked. Rather, he's actually on the bench now with ice on the back of his neck. It looks like a torn neck muscle, painful enough as it is, but not as bad as it first looked anyway.
That's great news, and that, meanwhile, is a great kick from Tony Smith, who has fought his way back into this side at the end of the season.
Must have been difficult for the standoff Tony Smith to realise week in, week out that Frank Endicott, his coach, kept switching Andy Farrell into the standoff position, but that man there, Mr. Endicott, has come up with a classic move. Well, it has allowed them that extra little bit of edge. Oh, it's away!
Robbie Paul pursued, but with support from Naylor. Vicona wants it. Vicona gets it. But Wigan funnel back. You would think they were only within 2 points of each other.
He should have offloaded early.
Here's Henry Paul now. Back it goes to Price.
Boyle was taken out there.
He was.
Before he got the football. Gilmore certainly did that. They've thrown the ball away. Someone will get the sin bin for that. Professional foul. Go on, have yourself 10 minutes.
Mick Cassidy. Well, that's a shame for him, because Mick Cassidy has had a great game tonight, but he threw the ball away then. And Mick Cassidy will trudge his way to the sin bin, and Wigan will end this match with 12 men.
Well, I'm sure that Cassidy will not be too unhappy about it. He knows they've got the win. So does he.
Peacock looking for a little bit of consolation. Now Loses. Here is the big fellow. Anderson's over. Anderson gets the try. Consolation it is. Big Paul Anderson with the try. In double figures this year for the first time in his career, Anderson. And he charged onto that football. But where was that sort of charge? Although, to be fair, they didn't have the ball about 60 minutes ago.
Well, it's a move that the hooker Jimmy Lowes and the big fella utilised so many times. It's paid off yet again, but as Eddie has mentioned, mere consolation. But the break certainly came, gave them the opportunity. Through the dummy, and Robbie Paul was away. I thought they blew it at this point. And the big fella was looking on the inside. He really should have perhaps given it a bit earlier. But the scrambling defence, another feature from Wigan. Good move from the hooker and the big fella Anderson. But he knows there's not going to be a gold ring slipping onto his finger.
No, Paul Anderson, the man now can start thinking about the World Cup. Matthew Elliott can start thinking about a journey back home. And the news we have heard this evening from the international in the Southern Hemisphere between Australia and Papua New Guinea, 82-0 the Australians have beaten the Kumuls down there. 82-0 to Australia against Papua New Guinea. England, beware.
England awaits.
Yes.
Well, obviously nothing more than a training run for the Kangaroos.
But they're on their way. Those two, Dennis Betts, Terry Newton, will not be involved in the World Cup. Terry Newton because of surgery he requires at the end of the season, and Dennis Betts out of choice. But I wonder if either of those will figure in your man of the match vote. 09009 10 10 13. And the lines are still open. They will be for another 10 minutes or so. Don't forget, we will be announcing the winner of the VIP box holder at Old Trafford next Saturday when the game is finished here. Little dink over the top from Henry Paul, but that's easy for Radlinski. And here's Robinson. And
Well,
Robinson.
he made it easy because his positional sense is outstanding. Radlinski was superb there.
Ran off now over the halfway line.
Difficult period for the Wigan players. They know this is in the bag, but they don't want to pick up an injury. And sometimes, if a player relaxes, that's probably the time that you will pick up an injury.
Mestrov. Tony Smith. Willie Peters. Andy Farrell. Here they come again. Farrell's gone for the gap.
Good tackle there from Paul Deacon.
Willie Peters a dab to the corner. Robinson's after this. Henry Paul collects it. Fault in his own.
Penalty.
It is.
Tackle being completed. See quite clearly here that Betts came in a little bit too late. Ball carrying arm had already hit the deck.
Quick tap taken by Henry Paul, trying to get Wigan on the back foot. This is Vicona.
It just shows you the enthusiasm that they still have, this Wigan defence.
Deary me.
Deary me. Just a little one from Naylor. No fingertip control. It is a sad end to a fine coaching career in this country. We wish him well down in Australia, his homeland. but you can see he is bitterly disappointed. He wanted more than anything in the world another crack against St Helens. It's not going to be.
No, it's going to be Wigan Saints at Old Trafford next Saturday. I think we knew that at half-time. I think we knew that after half an hour, Steve-O, to be fair.
Yep.
Peters. Nestrov. Tony Smith. Dennis Betts. To ground, but safely into the arms of Farrell. Farrell's toying with them. Malin.
Well, it wouldn't surprise me if Andy Farrell just takes a pot with a field goal. No, Gilmore's gone for the kick and chase.
And Lowe's has picked it up for Bradford. Leon Price. Offloads to McDermott.
William Millwood, our guest tonight, the St Helens coach, I'm sure will realise that it's going to be a hard job keeping hold of that trophy, the way that Wigan has played tonight.
Fielden enveloped by Brady Malin. McDermott.
Well, we're coming to the dying moments, and you can see that some of the Bradford players are completely out on their feet. Always a case when you're on the end of a drubbing. I must also point out, whilst Wigan have been superb, I want to give a big pat on the back to the merry whistleblower. I think Russell Smith's performance tonight, probably one of the best I've seen.
Yes, he's had a fine game, has Russell Smith. I wonder whether he has played his way to Old Trafford as well. Well, we've got, what, 5.5 minutes remaining, and Bill is downstairs, and I'm sure he's with a very happy Frank Endicott.
Frank, is a fantastic view up here, and it must have been a great view from your seat.
Yeah, well, it's been a good night for us, hasn't it? You know, we've turned this around this week, and the players' attitudes have been great all week, and it's carried on to the park tonight.
And it's been an ultra-professional performance, hasn't it?
I think you just summed it up, Bill. I think it's been a real professional performance tonight. I'm very happy with our guys, very proud of them.
Bring on St Helens.
Yeah, well, we just wanted to get there. Now we're there, we'll worry about winning it.
Only worry, Frank, is the Gary Connolly injury. Obviously, it's early days, but you must be concerned about that.
I am concerned. It doesn't look too good, and I'll be surprised if he's there next week. But miracles happen, and the medical people can do a great job during the week. Who knows?
Thanks a lot, Frank.
Pleasure, Bill. Thank you.
Yeah, well done to Frank Endicott. Well done to Wigan. Little smile from the Wigan coach really does say it all, even though it's Bradford who are in possession. It doesn't matter at 40-12.
It was a masterstroke by Big Frank. That on the Monday after the shellacking by St Helens, he told all his players, "You do not watch that video." If your mates say, "Come and have a look at this," tell him no. It certainly worked. He wanted to have their mind on the job.
You do feel sorry though for Matthew Elliott. It was a high shot on Stuart Fielden. And the penalty finds touch on this near side. Well, can Bradford give us anything to remember? Fielden again to drive in. It was the penalty on him, remember, that has given Bradford this field position. Lowe's, McAvoy.
Well, this Wigan defence has been that superb. It must have felt as though that these Bradford players had leeches around them all night.
Forshaw, back to Lowe's, on to Deacon. Little shimmy of the hips from Deacon. He was caught by Chris Chester.
He's lost it.
The ball has come out. And the referee looks to either touch judge, and nobody's giving him any help, so he gives the knock on.
Well, that went backwards. Pretty high shot there from Chester. And this, well, I always come up with a knock on here. Oh, well, losing possession after the tackle is being completed, perhaps. But
well, it's just got worse for Bradford. Someone spoke out of turn to the referee, and he has now given a penalty to Wigan.
Well, there's a few of the Bradford players in the first half that were guilty of that. Makes no difference to that man, Matthew Elliott.
So 2.5 minutes to go. You can get ready now for next Saturday's showdown between St Helens and Wigan. Well, they've played each other twice in the last 3 weeks, and the game has been turned upside down on each occasion.
Oh, I'll be tossing a coin.
Well, we did tonight, didn't we? And who could have predicted this?
Well, form has just completely gone out of the window, hasn't it?
Well, form previously on the board, yes. What was it, a 76, 80-point turnaround here last week? Now what's going to happen at Old Trafford? It's an intriguing match in prospect, and two of the oldest foes in the business. Renoff is forced back. That's the last tackle. No fancy stuff from Jason Robinson. 90 seconds remaining. Jason Robinson, his last match at the JJB Stadium. His farewell home appearance. Ever present this year, Robinson. This is his 280th appearance. Henry Paul's pass to McAvoy. A kick and chase from McAvoy. Oh, little knock on by Robinson. He holds his hand up. He might get away with that next year.
Ooh, harsh, but fair. Just couldn't bring it in. Well, can the Bradford side finish with a flourish? Looks as though they're setting up for a move. Haven't got long.
It's with Deacon. Now Henry Paul. Here's Robbie. Stabbed through looking for Naylor.
Nice option.
Naylor and Robinson.
Robinson read it well. He came up with a knock on, and he was going to make sure that the try was not going to be conceded through his mistake. Got it there, it's all over.
Well, this ground is a cauldron of noise. The Bradford fans on their feet and cheering their men, and Wigan, needless to say, they have stayed in the stadium tonight as Matthew Elliott and Brian Noble embrace. The match is all over. Brian Noble will now carry the mantle. Matthew Elliott bows out, but Wigan, they march on Old Trafford to face the Saints, the champions of course, and the seedings in Super League have worked out again. It's top against second at Old Trafford in 7 days' time. Frank Endacott has turned Wigan around in the space of 7 days. Good winners in the end, easy winners here tonight, and now Frank will take the bow at Old Trafford in 7 days' time. Robinson was the hero of the day in 1998. Who's going to be the hero then? Farewell to Matthew Elliott. He leaves us with many, many happy memories, but I'm afraid tonight is not one of them for him. It is for the Wigan Warriors. They're in the grand final, the first of the new millennium. Matthew Elliott will embrace every player, and he will go home a sad man.